I'm sorry. I will call the Tuesday, May 18th meeting of the Norwalk Fire Commission to order 3:03 p.m. We have a quorum. We have Commissioner Oscar Destruge and we have Mayor Rilling present. So the first item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of April 20th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there any discussion or any deletions, omissions, additions, corrections?
I did see any.
Chief Gatto, what do you have?
Yeah, I have on page 3, under emergency management update, the second paragraph. There will, maybe Michelle could chime in. There will be a parking exercise. I don't think so. I think it's a tabletop exercise.
Correct. Yep, table.
Tabletop, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Catch.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then on just a correction, the local 830 report, the golf outing was yesterday, May 17th, not June 7. And that's it.
Right.
Okay. Anything else? So
No.
because I didn't put that on my calendar, I missed your golf outing. Is that true? Oh, my goodness. Ah, not good.
Bill?
I didn't put it on my calendar. It's my fault.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we
Yeah,
could.
yeah. No, yeah, actually, I mentioned it to the chief earlier. I said, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to text you, right? But I remember you saying you're putting it on your calendar, but I think what might have happened is we switched dates. It originally was in
Ah.
June, and then we had to switch it because there was a conflict with the course.
That's
Right.
Okay.
And I felt bad. I was like,
Well, I'll look at my calendar. I'll be there in June
be
sometime.
next
I'll be up
week.
there like, where is everybody? Okay.
we had a good day. We did okay.
To play with
I'll
Ray.
rub it in.
I didn't get an invite either, Mr. Mayor, so.
Okay. And would the stenographer note that at 3:06, we're joined by Commissioner Bentley, that we now have a full commission. So all in favor of the minutes as corrected, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. There are no action items. Chief, your budget report, please.
Okay, so we have 2 months left to go, obviously, in this year. And looking at the firefighters' budget, or account, we're at 84.8% in the overtime account. But we're only 78.6% in the regular salary account. And we projected the salary account, we projected the overtime account for the next 2 months. And we're going to transfer from the salary account into the overtime account around 250,000 to cover the vacancy shortfall. Should be more enough to cover it.
You're going to bring that to the Board of Estimate and Taxation at the next meeting, is that?
The money that's in the salary account, I think we could just transfer it over. Do we have to go to?
No, you have to go through the finance department. I don't think you can just transfer it. I think you have to go through the Board of Estimate and Taxation for any transfer of funds over 5,000.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it on there. I'll get it.
I don't think there'll be a problem with it. It's just, that's the way it has to be approved.
Okay. All right. So just so that you're aware, we have 12 vacancies today. At the end of May, Lieutenant Gorman is retiring, so that'll create a vacancy. At the end of June, we have 2 firefighters that just submitted letters for retirement. So that would put us at 15 vacancies the end of June. And then we still have 8 more that are scheduled to leave next year, the end of December of next year. And then 3 more in 2023 and 1 in 24. So we will be working on the vacancies once we get this list.
Yeah, you're giving a test on the 22nd, 23rd.
Ed will,
Okay.
somebody has some feedback going
Yeah, I
on.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, just, I forgot to tell you before I started the budget, the firefighter that died in New Haven, they reached out to departments, all around and asking for support. So Thursday, the day of the funeral, we're setting up our ladder truck with 5 firefighters, 4 firefighters and 1 safety officer, to man one of their stations, and they'll be there for a 12-hour period. So we are supporting New Haven on Thursday. That's it on the
Please,
budget.
yeah. If you would please extend our condolences to them.
Yes, if you would.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting an awful lot of
I
static.
think that's you, Commissioner Bentley. Maybe you can mute.
Maybe turn your video off. Just put your sound on.
Hmm.
All right, that's better.
Yeah.
That is better. Nope.
What's going on?
All right, any other things, any other thing on the budget, Chief?
No, overall, we're only at 82%. And we're gonna be under 100%, that's for sure. Should be in the mid 90s like we were last year. By in 2 months, hopefully.
Good. Very good.
That's it.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Gatto?
No, our gratitude for, again, coming in under budget. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
good numbers, Chief.
Assistant Fire Chief of Administration, Assistant Chief Bassett.
Good afternoon. Still continuing on the OSHA compliance stuff that we're doing. So that's in progress. Everything will be done by June and they'll approve it. It's pretty much all paperwork. So that's a good thing. So there's nothing that we're really any violations that we went through. I did open up a larger can of worms on a bigger front that they didn't have answers for, so which will be interesting. So I'll have to sit down with Mr. Bernie and talk about medical records. So as far as maintaining those, so that's one thing that popped up, but nothing that we're in violation of, and moving forward on that to make sure we have documentation. I just took in a Staples High School intern. He's working with us for the next 3-4 weeks. It's Tom Kerwin, Bill Kerwin's son. So he's going to be doing some stuff with the fire marshal's office and hopefully get him out doing some of our updating of our properties in our database and cleaning that up. So that's what we got going on in administration.
Okay. Any questions of the commission?
No,
No, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, next is the Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Under the
Good
entry-level firefighter test, happy to say our recruitment efforts have been very successful. We ended up at the close of applications with 1,220 applicants and with approximately 37% diversity. So working with Firefighter App and working locally in the community, I think we were able to get the applicants that we were looking for. We also had 155 Norwalk residents apply for the test.
Great.
And additionally, we have 63 Connecticut certified firefighters who are taking our test. So good numbers there to work with.
Yeah, that's really good numbers because
It's great.
with your shortage right now, it's going to be critical to get you back to staff.
Absolutely. So we'll know more after next weekend and the written and the oral are administered, and we'll look at the numbers and see, we'll report back as far as where we're at after the initial round of testing. And in addition, I've been working with members of the Health and Safety Committee on firefighter and mental health and wellness, encouraging all of our members and their families to do a mental health self-check and to reach out to the various resources that we have available if they feel that could be beneficial to them or to their families. As we come out of COVID and we're opening up a little bit, people have been through a lot, so we're just making sure that they know those resources are out there.
Thank you.
Also continue to update and modify the standard operating procedures. And as far as calls for the month of April, we were looking at 547 calls, an average of 18.2 per day. We had 16 fires, 43 rescues. Of those, 27 motor vehicle accidents and 6 elevator rescues. We did 316 emergency medical responses, 21 hazardous conditions, 19 public assists, 42 smoke scares and good intent, and 90 fire alarms. As far as the cumulative statistics for the year, we're looking at 2,089 incidents and 3,323 total runs. So we're just under what we were doing this time in 2020, but it's, considered normal variation for those numbers. Notable incidents for April. We had 2 structure fires here in town, one on Button Ball Trail, one at 38 Mar Drive, and those came in almost simultaneously. So we had crews operating at both of those structure fires at the same time. Both scenes went well, and firefighters were able to limit the amount of damage to those structures. No civilians were injured. We also had a mutual aid fire that we assisted Rowayton FD with. We had 1 vehicle fire. We had 1 minor electrical fire over on Clara Drive. And the Marine unit continues to do a good job. They had a watercraft rescue in Norwalk Harbor, where a kayaker had overturned and was starting to become hypothermic. They were able to get that individual out and get them to EMS on shore. So they continue to be busy and continue to do a good job.
Yeah.
That's all for my report. Any questions?
Oh,
Sounds like a busy month.
No.
And,
yeah.
Commissioners, you're all set?
I like those numbers on the firefighter exam, Chief. They sound real good.
Yes, we're happy with the
Real good.
effort.
I found
Very
it
happy.
rather
Thank
interesting.
you.
You had 6 elevator calls.
Yeah, 6 elevator rescues. It's we usually do a few a month, but we had more than usual. Again, nothing really to attribute that to. It's just one of those months. But
It's funny.
all successful rescues.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, since there are no questions, we'll move on to the Fire Marshal's report. Fire Marshal Sawyer.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the month of April,
Afternoon.
we had 184 inspections, 89 notifications sent. We didn't have any pub eds. We had 49 plan reviews, 5 liquor license inspections for a total of $3,125. We had 6 fires and 1 code issue. And that's it. Any questions?
No.
Sounds like you guys are busy too.
Moving along, it's gonna be picking up.
I like the 184 inspections. The more of those we can do, the better it is.
Mhm.
We want to make sure that we stay on top of the
Well, we-
multifamily units and other
residential.
places where we might find ourselves having a problem and making sure that it's up to code and everything.
Copy that.
Any questions from the commissioners?
No,
None, thank you.
none.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Luca, the emergency management report.
Great, hello. Just a few
Hi.
things. We did have the FEMA mass vaccination unit come to town over the weekend. So they set up in Webster lot with Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. They did about 242 vaccinations on Friday, and I believe about 285 on Saturday. So a total a little bit more than 500. They will be back on June 4th and 5th to the same location. For those who had the Pfizer shot, they'll get their second doses. And I believe they'll still offer Johnson & Johnson for those that just want the single vaccination. So everything did go well. Definitely a team effort with health, TMP, Public Works, Police, EMS. So again, we were very lucky with that. We had beautiful weather and hopefully we will again. We do have the tabletop exercise we mentioned last time on June 9th. So when I send out that information, I'll also make sure to extend an invite to the commissioners as well. We'll probably, I've not fully figured out how to do it, but we'll have a hybrid of Zoom and in person. So definitely to have a few of the critical players in person in the EOC, and then others that may want to observe or may not feel comfortable yet in the EOC can join by Zoom. But again, I'm still working on the logistics of that one. And then lastly, with the American Red Cross, we have the programs coming up for the little ones, Pedro the Penguin and the Pillowcase Project. So we do have folks signed up for all 4 sessions. And hopefully again, in June, we'll be able to start offering some in person as well. So again, getting a good response. It's still a bit slow and I'd love to see higher numbers. But we are happy that we have folks signed up for every age group or each of the 4 sessions. It's definitely a good sign.
Good.
And that's it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
any questions, commissioners?
No.
Yes, Michelle, will the FEMA vaccinations be for walk-ins without appointments, or do they still require appointments?
Nope, they are still doing walk-ups. I think
Walk-ups, okay.
folks are, a lot of the agencies are saying appointments are always encouraged, but we're definitely seeing a lot more of the walk-ups to a lot of these sites.
Great,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's good.
And do we have updated numbers on the percentage of firefighters that received one or both of the vaccines?
We don't have, nothing's changed since the last meeting, give or take, maybe an additional half dozen. But the amount of people getting back to us has diminished.
Okay,
And I did mention to the chief earlier, because I did order a lot of the backpacks. And Red Cross provided the pillowcases and the materials. What we could do after we go through the initial programs is if there's interest, maybe reach out to with the firefighters union to see if there's any family or any firefighters with younger children that might be interested in either signing up for the training or just getting the backpack or pillowcase. Knowing that in many cases they'll be here working during an emergency or severe weather. Again, wanted to make sure we extend that to the firefighters here if they're interested in getting something for their little ones.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Luca. Next, we have the training report. Is it Deputy Chief Markowitz?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure I don't demote you. I know you wouldn't mind if I promoted you, but
Yeah.
Deputy
Yep.
Chief Markowitz.
Thanks, good afternoon. So over the past month, we completed our 5-inch hose testing. That's the yellow supply hose that we use that hooks up to a fire hydrant when there's a house fire. It's a yearly test. We have to test it yearly, so we completed that this month. We did some training with our rescue company. We had a tree on top of a car down at the training tower. We have a picture attached. That'd be picture number 6. We continued our department physicals, which will be ongoing over the next several months. We've done several multi-company simulated fire drills. That'd be picture number 5, where we have a ladder company, a couple of 2-engine companies, a rescue company, and we go to one of the vacants on the corner of West Ave and Maple, and we run through it like one of the buildings are on fire. We go over various scenarios, and we practice various techniques and whatnot. Recently, we just did a forceful entry and metal cutting class, which we had an outside company come in, and we ran the entire department through it, practicing different types of forceful entry and different types of metal cutting. The pitches 3 and 4 are from that class. And then we rearranged the training grounds for future rescue company scenarios where we have different vehicles. We have a school bus, a variety of vehicles and different predicaments that we use for our rescue company to simulate a car versus motorcycle, car versus bus, car versus Jersey barrier. So it gives them a chance to practice using airbags, stabilization equipment, and a variety of equipment that they carry on the rescue company. So that's been set up, and we'll continue with that over the next month.
That's a
That's
lot
it.
of training.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Busy too.
Yep.
Now, how many of the firefighters went through all of this training? Did anybody go through all of it, or did most go through?
So the forceful entry metal cutting class, the entire department, all companies on all shifts, the entire department went through that. Like I said, the physicals, that's been ongoing. Some of the training down at the tower, the tree on the car, some of the scenarios that set up down there, that's for more specifically for the rescue company. They carry a lot of specialized equipment. So it's important that they keep their hands on that as often as we can, so they stay familiar with it. Eventually, we'll get some of the ladder trucks down there to help out as well, and a couple of the engine companies. But we want to build up their familiarization and their knowledge of the equipment before we branch out to the others.
Any questions from the commission
No.
or comments? No? Okay. Local 8:30, there are no items other than the fact that I miss your golf tournament.
Yeah, now I'll have, next meeting, I'll have the final numbers in terms of like how much money we made and stuff. And most of the money that we're donating will end up to the Burn Foundation, which runs the camp upstate Connecticut, which covers like the whole East Coast. But we're still counting the money and paying the bills and stuff. So next month we'll have a good idea of how much we made.
Okay, great. Old business, update on the building repairs?
We have our situation with Broad River. Station 1 is still ongoing. I believe Assistant Chief Bassett was in the meeting with the Corporation Counsel and a contractor. Al, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, sir. So yeah, we met with the Corp Counsel, the architect, and the person responsible, the bonding agent person. They reached out to the old contractors that originally did the bids. Only one came back to rebid it. So that contractor put a proposal together with a lot of options on how we're going to fix some of the stuff. So that's where we are now. The contractor still needs to put prices on that, and we're going to re-meet with the bonding company, the architect, and Corp Counsel to pretty much select what option we're going to use to get the building finished in that case. So, and legal department's working on how we're going to handle that, and as far as moving forward with the repairs and also dealing with the contractor that was taken off the job. So that's got to get dealt with on the legal side. So that's where Station 1 is. That unfortunately there's not a timeline now until that meeting happens and we see where we're going with the repairs and the cost of the repairs to see if the bonding company is going to cover everything.
Okay. Anything else, Chief, on
No.
On a good note, the new doors went in at Station One. The firefighters really liked the atmosphere of the openness again. So that we are making progress on other projects.
Good. Is there any, there's no new business to discuss? And no correspondence, I see.
No.
So I believe now that we would need a motion to go into executive session for
I
an
so move,
update.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, a motion to go into executive session for an update on personnel. The time is 3:29. Chief, who will be joining us?
So you'll have Ray Burney, myself, Chief Bassett, Markowitz, and McCabe, President Ireland, and firefighter Christy Smith,
Okay, and
the commissioners.
yeah, the commissioners. Okay, so we'll have to leave this meeting, go into the executive session.
Okay.
meeting. After
Right.
executive
Take it easy,
session,
folks.
we have to come back into this meeting.
Is somebody staying to keep this meeting open?
Somebody
Yeah,
should be keeping it open, yes.
Yes, this is Jeff. I'll be here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
Signing out.
All
Good night.
Chief, do you want me to stay on or do you want to just follow up with me?
I'll follow up with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
votes were taken. And now, unless there's any other business, I would need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeStrouge at 4:21 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Bentley, you're muted.
No, aye.
Okay.
You
Thank
get
you.
me? Yeah.
Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank
Yeah.
you, you too.